Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the channel, and I am here for an album review for you guys. Now, for this review, this is not a newer release, obviously. This is more of a throwback review. This is just an album that I've been really wanting to talk about, and I believe I did review this album before on my channel, but the last time I reviewed it was 2016, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've last reviewed this album. And I don't know, I feel like talking about this album once again, so yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So for this review, I'm going to be reviewing Meteora by Linkin Park. And this is definitely my favorite Linkin Park album. If you have seen my ranking for this band, you would know that. If you haven't seen my Linkin Park ranking and are interested in checking that out, go of course check that out. I know there's a lot of people that would put Meteora at the top, me included. I mean, this is definitely seen as their best work. Can certainly see why, and it's a great first Linkin Park album for sure, I think, if you're just wanting an introduction to the band. But yeah, this album I think is basically near perfect. I mean, there's not really a weak point on this album. All the songs on here I think are, some of them are good and some of them are like really great, of course. Really, the only song that I'm not really too crazy about on this album is Nobody's Listening, which is one of the songs in the second half of the album. Now, is the song awful? No, it's probably my least favorite on the album, but I still don't mind it. But for the most part, this album is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, of course, you know, you got the introduction track, the first track, Forward, which is just, you know, it's basically interlude, you know, introduction that just has some random noises, like you hear glass shattering, and this track goes right into Don't Stay, which is the first actual song on the album, and this song is definitely great. I really dig this song. It's one of the heaviest tracks on the album for sure. Definitely a great track. Somewhere I Belong, one of the singles, of course. I really enjoy this song. I really like the build up to the song. Mike Shinoda's rapping in the verses, of course, and yeah, he's really good at what he does. I'm not really that big on rap, for those who don't know. I just really don't care for rap that much, but I don't know, when it comes to Linkin Park, I just seem to make an exception. I think Mike Shinoda is actually a really good rapper, so yeah, I of course really like the chorus to this song, and yeah, Somewhere I Belong. Is it one of my favorites on the album? It might be, I don't know. It's hard to pick favorites from this album. Now, songs like Lying From You and Hit the Floor, these two songs in particular I think are super underrated. These are some songs that really don't get enough recognition. I really enjoy these songs. I like the especially in Hit the Floor, I just really like the flow of this song, the way, like, how it's like mostly rapping, and then you got Chester screaming in a lot of parts of the song as well. I think that song is just really unique. It's one of the most unique songs on the album, in my opinion at least. And Easier to Run is kind of seen as one of the ballads off this album, probably the ballad off this album, I don't know. Definitely a great song. I don't know if I'd say it's one of my favorites, but I definitely think it's a good song. You can definitely hear the emotion in Chester's voice. I mean, it's definitely a great song, and you can't go wrong with it. Of course, the fan favorite, Faint. This is definitely a song that you cannot go wrong with. It's, of course, one of the singles, one of the fan favorites. I really enjoy this song as well. It may be one of my favorites. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to pick favorites. Figure 09 is another song I think is kind of underrated. So yeah, while this album does have, you know, some of Linkin Park's biggest songs, it also has some underrated songs as well, and that's what I got to give this album credit for. Like, even the deep cuts, the songs that don't get as much attention, are still, you know, really good songs. And then we got Breaking the Habit, which is most likely one of my favorites off the album. Probably top 3 off this album. I don't know. I really love this song. It's maybe one of my favorite Linkin Park songs. I don't know. It's up there. I just really love everything about this song. I love the structure of this song, and one of the main highlights for me with this song is Chester's vocal delivery. Again, you can definitely hear the emotion in Chester's voice in this song, and it's just delivered very well. I really enjoy this song. It's definitely a song that I return to a lot, you know, whenever I do listen to Linkin Park. Definitely an excellent song. And then we got From the Inside, which is definitely a great song, and maybe another one of my favorites. I don't know. It's a tough call. I really enjoy this song, though. Like I said, there's not really a weak spot on this album, but From the Inside is definitely a great song. Another, one of the things that really stand out to me in this song is well, of course, Chester's vocals. I mean, Chester's vocals are always good, especially in this album, but the instruments also sound really good with these riffs that you get at the beginning. The riffs in the song always gave me some Red vibes. I don't know if that's just me hearing that, like something that you would hear maybe from End of Silence or something. But yeah, I do like that about this song. It's definitely a great song. And like I said, Nobody's Listening. It's probably my least favorite song on the album. I don't know, it just seems kind of weird to me, but again, it's not a terrible track. And then Session is just an interlude that goes right into the song Numb, which is one of their biggest songs, of course. Yeah, definitely a great song. You can't go wrong with this song. I know that this song is definitely one of their biggest songs, and everything about it is just fantastic, I think. The instruments, the verses, the chorus, I mean, it's just a really great song. And does it work as an album closer? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if I would have picked it as the closing track, but regardless, it does still work as a closing track, even if it's not like the best pick for the closing track, of course. But yeah, Numb, it's definitely deserving to being one of their biggest songs, and yeah, it's a really great song overall. So yeah, this album, it's definitely great. You got your heavy moments, your catchy moments, full of melody. I mean, the balance between rock and rap, I think, is done very well, and everything about this album just, I don't know, Linkin Park really did probably the best job on this album opposed to any of their other albums, I think. Now, they have put out some other good albums for sure, but I don't know, none of them just compared to this album. So Meteora by Linkin Park, definitely a great album. I highly recommend it. If you are a fan of bands like Red, I think you're gonna find something that you like on this album, because of course Linkin Park is one of Red's biggest influences. I know for a fact that Red has definitely taken some inspiration from this album into their music. So if you're a Red fan, check out this album. I think you're going to definitely find something that you like from it. I would also recommend this to, you know, fans of Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace and pretty much any type of hard rock or new metal. Definitely check out this album. You will not be disappointed. It's a really great album. So as a score, I'll have to give Meteora by Linkin Park a 9 out of 10. Again, I think it's a near perfect album and my favorite Linkin Park album. My really only complaint with this album is, like I said, my least favorite song is probably Nobody's Listening, but even with that in the way, it's still a pretty decent track. And also, I didn't really see the point of the interludes, the 2 interludes that you get on this album. But they just feel like they're just kind of there just for the sake of being there, kind of just, you know, making the album a little longer or whatever. But it's not a huge deal. It's something that I can get past, of course, and I think most people can get past if they're also not a fan of interludes. But yeah, definitely a great album. Check it out if you haven't already. Well, there you have it, guys. That's my review. Let me know what you guys think of this album. Have you heard this album? If not, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a great album. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day and take care.